Disco Elysium. Cool. Alright. Stay hydrated. Okay, let's go. Look at us. Look at me. These sucky logs smell of ignition fluid. Still they won't light up. Money. Well, you first.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Why am I there? Nah. That's pushing it.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
Morale? The cryptozoologist?
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. I'll tell it.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
I guess you're right. It was really the sign's fault. No, it was all me. I caused your delay. I'm so sorry. But you can return now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sure.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
Alright. Tell me about this phasmid.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Knee deep. Why is it so difficult?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Yes.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
Such as?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
Really?
But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid. A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
Well, knowing this game, I guess it'll probably end up being true. Ghost insects? You ghost hunters?
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists, looking for an extant species of phasmid.
How big is phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
What have you discovered?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
No one ever found one.
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
I see. I'm sure I'll somehow be the first.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says brusque, whatever, man.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
They said there's been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the phasmid has died out.
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis?
Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Hell yeah. Females reproducing without males, a travesty, a crime against passion and... Oh, please. That's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed them, huh?
Yes.
How'd they work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out.
Really? I don't know.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
Delicate. What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Yeah, well, you probably should if there are known herbivores and all that.
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, you know. What will you do if it doesn't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought. Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the Phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted this Phasmid?
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious Phasmid.
Sure.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian Phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check on the traps later.
No, no, no. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Chaos is my method. I'm all in with this crypt shit I woke. It's very similar.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Where are these traps? Except for like right here, but...
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them... You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
Well, the pursuit of knowledge is its own justification. You're not having fun?
Even relative to examining a week-old corpse, I'm not sure mucking about in the reeds qualifies as fun. But have it your way, detective.
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
What do I do if there's a Phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
What if I encounter the Phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
I feel like I shouldn't do this. But what the hell?
Wise choice.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Okay.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Well, it's just one thing left.
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So you're living your childhood dream.
It's not child's play, just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Why not just be a zoologist?
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
I don't want it as a profession, just like any other. Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do. I mean, it is a lot of wishful thinking, but you don't always have to be 100% honest.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Has it ever?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid. Although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
What kinds of evidence?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. And I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
So you've never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
How many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven real.
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
Yes. 2 out of 4,000 is not even 1%. Then the Encelendian phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Thanks for explaining.
Yes?
Specific cryptids?
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. Since you've offered to help, you need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
Sure. Which cryptids did you almost catch?
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
Willow people? Not at all.
What are those?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees. They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
So I may have seen one without knowing?
You probably have.
How'd you almost catch one?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
Dashing through the grove.
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
And Lena's sighting of the phasmid, is that?
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
I know all about the kind green ape. Look, I even have a kind green ape pen.
I see you've been talking about cryptids with Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favourites.
A warm wave passes him. Of course, the kind green ape is her favorite, he thinks.
We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
What? South Safra? They're just on a different rung of the ladder, Morale. I had no problem with them.
Really? You kept complaining about how dirty everything is, but we digress.
They're a nascent culture. I just didn't feel comfortable. And let's change the topic, okay? Talk about your critters, or whatever.
Yes, back to cryptozoology. You don't want to sow disagreement between friends.
I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the gnome of Kiroma.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
He doesn't want to make it feel like you knowing it is some big deal.
Living? No.
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
Huh?
Yes, the dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
It attacks people?
Human remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
What does it look like?
just like an ordinary Arden moose.
Then how can you tell?
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
A moose that looks like any other moose. What's going on here? He's kidding, right?
I'm not completely sure about this red moose.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more.
Yeah, okay, go on.
The recent surge in the moose population has hidden carnivores. The dread moose are effectively removing competition for both themselves and their evolutionary cousins.
But why would it need to hide its carnivorous nature?
Moose are already being hunted for sport. Can you imagine what would happen if they came to be viewed as predators?
What exactly is the relationship between the carnivorous and the regular moose?
The carnivorous moose are a very young species, the result of a genetic mutation that fared well in the process of natural selection. It makes sense that such a majestic animal with natural weapons, antlers, would come to rule the forest. The only strange thing is that it took so long.
We leveled up, by the way. I think there was a thing I wanted, right? The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? I mean, how could I not think about the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? The most savage and brutal, the art cop. I feel like I did that. I like art. Nothing is good enough for him. Everything is shit. You have to employ an armada. Yeah, maybe not. And this the communism. Humpty Dumpty? Uno más? Yeah. Humpty Dumpty Dum. Alright. Back. Sorry about that, just an inner monologue. Is there any reliable eyewitness accounts of a moose killing other animals for food?
One slaughterhouse at the outskirts of the woods in Vasa reported that its staff kept seeing moose in the distance. The moose would just stare at the building, as though they were waiting for something, its eyes bloodshot and full of cruelty. And that's not all. Some of the slaughterhouse apprentices went hiking by a nearby creek and saw a moose nibbling on an unidentified carcass.
This isn't something unique. Various species of deer have been known to scavenge when plant food is scarce.
Anyway, there is more than enough evidence to justify a thorough search for the dread moose. Let's close the subject before it turns into an argument.
Here is a man who has had more than his fair share of heated arguments, and would, surprising as it may seem, prefer not to have any more.
Right. I know the biggest cryptid, the giant of Coconut.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
No.
Of course you haven't.
Have you?
I haven't had a chance to travel to Coconut. No. And I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Yes, Sightings of mirages are constant. A mirage is a constant phenomenon that people have no time to report when a war is going on. It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
Right, I know about the Cryobacter catalensis.
Oh, everyone knows about that one. Thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time. Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nong-Ok.
Nong-Ok?
A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nong-Ok to run faster than any other avian. Perhaps any other animal. Who knows? When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ok hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor. Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When?
Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Lastly, tell me about a cool one. Cool cryptid.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
Well, you've been doing just fine. Enough tales then, let's change the
By
subject.
all means.
I'm going to leave. You're not leaving. Oh, Gary, or whatever. I hate that word. A buoy? Is it buoy? God, it's like the one of the cursed words for me where I just can't, like, how do you spell it? It's not even that hard, and it's not that weird, but it is a weird word, but it's not that crazy, but I just can't. I'm like, a buoy.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
I can't see anything.
You don't have a reason to. Yet.
What's this about?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water.
Boy.
Time to go.
The boy? The boy? It's just a boy? Is it... These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes. Anyway. Anything here? I think it's like a dead end. Although... What's up with that? We can't actually go there though, can we? I wonder. Hello, Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
You sound like Squidward or something. Gary. Gary's the snail, right? Gary. SpongeBob. Okay, sorry.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook.
Gary. Gary. I think I see what's about to
Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates have been trained to identify the slightest hint of degeneracy by the preeminent authority on it. Sadly, I think I might be a drunk or a degenerate, maybe in both.
Oh, I didn't mean it in any scientific way.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Is this your mug? Hold up the yellow man mug.
My mug? Why would you think that?
You said yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone.
It's still sus. Did I mention the mug was found on the scene of a lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
I could, huh? I'd get some money. I mean, you kinda deserve it if you're like a weird racist little dude. But I guess I just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How'd you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the Whirling Inn racks, into the trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Go on.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Uh-huh. What happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
Sound like 2 beer bottles. What's that strange sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
You're sus. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it. I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Do you know anything about the man that was hanged?
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
You a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
I'm into cryptids. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
Burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
Why?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
How's the lighting of this fluid actually work?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
Yeah. Seems unlikely. I buy that. I want to be just like that rhino. You take him off guard if you say that. Let's do it.
We don't really do that around here.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should have more such decisive action in Revacol. You know, this city used to be a flaming rhino once. A long time ago.
It's a Revachol, actually. I'll have you know. Yeah, okay. Why only the males?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
Of course it is.
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly.
Mating behavior. Animals have 3 behaviors. It's mating, it's a self-defense, and then it's like hunting and gathering food. It's all food, sex, and like sleep. I want to be alive. I want to oomph, and I want to eat. That's it. But I guess eat and survive you can put together, so.
Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
Don't fear the Reaper.
The lieutenant sighs, without looking up from his notes. It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
Well, you know we gotta do it. You were surprised to see my colleague.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
The lieutenant is a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject.
No.
Okay?
No.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than sail. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you have a problem with sea lights?
No, no problem at all.
Alright. Why is he shifting around like that? I really want to find out. We need more composure. Nothing to composure. Huh? Composure, composure. Do we have composure? We do have composure. Composure, composure. Composure. Alright, that's what we get. Hello? Yes.
Always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
Doesn't have much, but it's worth a try.
Is he?
Wow,
He's
that's
looking
close.
comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
Gary, are you cross-dressing by any chance? Are those prayer beads I keep hearing? Gary, are you currently sporting some anal beads?
You wouldn't be able to hear if you were wearing anal beads. Please excuse my colleague's humor. Working this murder case is taking a toll on us both. You don't quite have to answer that yet.
Of course, of course.
Colossal anal beads up his butt. Yeah, well, I mean, you do you. It's not a problem. Oh well. It's getting late. How long have 47 minutes? Oh, who been writing to me? A billion messages. Wait. Okay, never mind. Yeah. We've been everywhere. We gotta check traps. We probably gotta just about head to bed. Where we been down here? Probably. That's a net.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Look around.
Behind you, a ruined residential building looms over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. They rustle confidentially, in tune with the pitter-patter of the rain.
Reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
I was hoping he'll be the first one, yeah, man.
No, you weren't.
Well, whatever. You guys still here? I told y'all to leave. Oh, they did leave.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. But this trap is also full of panicked locusts.
Another empty trap.
How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant?
Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
Fucking true.
The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake in the lazily falling rain. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow.
Somehow. Is it sleepy time? I guess we can do. Was there anything down there? We can go here, we can go there, we can go every fucking where. I wanted to click the thing up there. Oh, and that's. Yeah. That's the phone box. Yeah. I love money. A little black swallow circles above you. So it does. I'll follow you. And it's gone. Store's closed for today. Hello.
The old woman still sits in her chair.
Of course.
The buzz of electric lights blends together with the slow rumble of the ocean waves at night. There's a gap where the name of that song should be. You should ask her about it right
Is
now.
still awake?
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older. My suggestion is, don't. Don't grow any older than you already are. That's
Good
old
idea.
enough. What's troubling your mind?
What's the song you're humming?
A lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids too. It's an old Samaran children's song.
What's it called?
Surrender to the night.
That's kind of grim for a children's song, even if it is a lullaby.
Sounds nice.
Yes, it does.
I found this jacket. It's filthy. Could you wash it for me?
I can wash it for you, but it's going to take about a half an hour. Think you can stay put for that long?
Maybe tomorrow? Well, sure.
I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day.
Yeah.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do. Must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you take better care of it than its last owner.
I will. Thank you so much. That's incredible.
Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center. You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Yeah. Encyclopedia passives give plus 10 XP and plus 2 real. Minus 2 suggestion for pretentious wanker. Oh man. The XP is really good. The minus 2 to something is horrible. Like, extremely bad. It requires points to get rid of it. Damn. Who needs suggestion, I guess? Talk to Joyce. Find idiot dooms spirals. jacket. He was one of the drunk people, right? Idiot Doom Spiral stole a cool jacket at one point, and then lost it again. The story of his life, according to the man, the jacket was last seen somewhere around the boardwalk. Yeah, well, I got it. Terrific necktie. Nah. Help the ravers start a nightclub. But we gotta help Suna first. Sync with designs and all that, but how? Get the ice cream. Oh, that is a thing. Called Jamrock Public Library for Information. Do we have the number now? We do, right? But we probably can't call it this time. Check a couple more traps, check a couple more traps. Oh, forgot about that. What's new? This my new jacket. I like it. I mean, we're probably gonna give it away. Matches your yeah. Hello. I guess I'll be back for you. Maybe we should try to get back and can we fast travel? Well, how do we fast travel? Travel here. Travel here. I am here. Wait, sorry. I don't think we could go in here. It's like over. It was over this way, wasn't it? On, we gotta tell. Oh man. I guess we gotta call the number first. Hello. What's new? Photos of revolutionary world. Can you believe it? We've done this, right?
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns.
We've done
The
this.
name on the plinth.
Close the door. Thank you. Balcony. There was like an entrance. Could we have just gone in there? I'm silly then, am I? Hello. I'm here. Someone's watching. What? Sure.
John Marie, you found me.
Haha.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
Cleaning lady let us in.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That is what I'm aiming for.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
By the way, I'm really digging the view here. Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday. Why would I want to meet your friend? Oh, firstly, it's really pretty here.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Sure.
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
Yes. Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather.
Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me, you do.
Very well.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark, and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Sure. Well, if you promise that we'll talk again, it's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
Man, that's good XP, though.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Now, we could either get an actual art degree, or we could just level up something. What do we need for that one? I don't know. I guess we'll save it for now. We finally met up with the mysterious smoker on the balcony. He said that you really want to talk with his friend. Yeah. Oh. Why is he always leaving, Kim?
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery.
There's something so different about him.
Different, of course.
Something weird about the way he talks and moves.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks.
Very mysterious.
Very.
Thank you for that.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
A quarterly business magazine. An empty ashtray. Dishes soaked up in a pot. Flyers for underground parties. Dates for open lectures at the local university. An exquisite canopy bed. Canopy? Obi-Wan? Wow. I was... No. An old photo of the same apartment dated the year '01. Expensive men's perfume lingers in the air. Wow. It's interesting. It does give me good stuff. So does this. You got anything to say about it? What if I also put on the hat that I feel like I shouldn't do?
Yes?
Nothing. Perception, huh? 2 logic. It's a bit weird, but it's drama. It's good to have. Buckets of paint. Cool.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason, you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Before we go on, I absolutely have to inquire about this wonderful canopy.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
Okay.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
What's an official like you doing in Martinez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
But why are you in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
So you're some kind of bureaucrat?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
What is this international community?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
What is surprise stability?
It is the most important thing.
Yeah, it clears everything up.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%. The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Yeah.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the Coalition.
Turn to Kim. So what I'm hearing is that we're moral intern bitches? Oh, turn to Kim, so we're actually working for the moral intern? I like the B word.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Are you a moralist?
But of course.
Am I a moralist?
Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Kim, are you a moralist?
Me? I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Ravachol.
A very moralist answer.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
What is a normal, stable world?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
Sur Jersey, Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Ravachol?
Ravachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
I don't think I'm a moralist. Moralism sounds incredibly boring. Moralism is the ideology of foreign occupiers. Ravachol must be governed by Ravacholians. Democracy is a meaningless sham, as long as the working class is under the boot heel of capital. It's like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D. None of the above. You know me too well.
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
It's for me, personally, like... Yes, everything else is super extreme. I know, right? But you don't... You just... yeah. It's like I'm living with a bunch of lunatics. Well, yeah.
Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend. Welcome.
Hi.
Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are.
I guess so.
Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Sure, tell me about Shalachle.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Ravachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
What makes Ravachol Shalachle, darling? Shalachle, darling?
Because a great percentage of Ravachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé.
Clé.
Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
La Delta.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sir Leclerc's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Tell me about Orange.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur la Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Which one of them is more epic?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur la Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur la Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions. Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
Can you talk like a normal person?
About what?
Oranje. Oranje.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
Can you tell me about your friend? Well, you witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
This is just the break we've been looking for.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Is it because you did it?
Because I did it?
My apologies, I misspoke. I mean, what did you see?
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
What do you mean, like in a play?
Don't tell me that it was a moose. I'll get angry.
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
How many of them?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
It's good to know. That just points to the people in the whirling racks, yeah? There were multiple people. And the most obvious suspects. And what happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men, women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched the guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
That does seem strange.
I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
Didn't check your watch.
My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for. I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
We know there was approximately 8 people. Probably all men. White, but some with an accent, and 2 something something guys. I don't know.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
Can you tell me about your friend? Bit of a weird one.
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
Yeah.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
What does it stand for?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
What do the letters stand for?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
Did you even hear what I'm saying?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is it going to be like that, this place here?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is River Show going to be part of EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Did you say that candidate members never become real members?
No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
How'd you 2 become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
Still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
Your friend, the smoker on the balcony.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts?
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
Maybe I should do that mind thing for the art. That might come in handy for the... Well, what are you doing in this apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
It's dark outside.
Listen.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Someone's baby's crying.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
I agree, yeah, but well, I mean, you know, it's factual. I was asking about, well, you could plant some trees out that just grow in front of the window. Anyway.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
Sure is.
I'm all ears, officer.
Guess that's it.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Why?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
I'm not going anywhere. I just want to take a look around this apartment. Thanks for the heads up, but my work here is done.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space.
I think we've seen it all, huh? Yeah.
Was there anything else? Of course.
Bye. Take care, Sunday man, or whatever. And, that's that. Huh? Yeah. Alright. I think we better save before we go to bed and all that. Which we'll do next time. That don't look like the whirling in rags. That looks like the tent. If I save over something, does it keep the name? The whirling in rags, day 1. But it's not. Guess I should just always save new. Things get a little weird. Alright. Thanks so much for watching. Nice, long, lengthy episode. 1 hour and 30 minutes. Not bad. I'll see you guys around. I always promise 2 disco videos in 1 week, and then I never do it. So I'm sure this was my 1 episode per week. Ugh. If I don't see you before, then I'll see you next Thursday. Take care.